Hi, Megan and Michael. It's really good to meet with you today. I'm excited to talk to you about the results from our analysis for your retirement plan and for your retirement savings. And would like to talk to you to start our conversation. I would really like to talk about retirement as a whole. So when thinking about retirement, I think it's not only important to think about your capital and your investments, but I would like you also to take a step back and really think about your goals and objectives for retirement. It is not only an asset planning activity, but it is also an activity you also want to be thinking about what you will be doing in retirement and your goals and objectives. Things that I would like you to consider is how will you spend your time? Will you be spending it with grandchildren? Will you be working a part-time job? When you get 17 years from now and you get to retirement, if you have a well-planned and thoughtful approach of getting into retirement, most people are much more successful and satisfied. And I know you work very hard in your jobs today, so you will be spending 25 years in retirement. I would like you to think about both sides of it, not only the assets, but your well-being and mindfulness in that stage of your life. In allocating and looking at your investments, today you have $328,950 allocated to retirement. This includes a couple different types of investments. The first is the $212,000 that you have in your profit sharing plan with ABC Company. And that is a discretionary plan and flexible in that the employer does not always have to make contributions for your retirement. And you experienced that in 2014 when they did not make a contribution to your account. I would like you to think about that. I would like there to be a more enduring investment for retirement. And so we're going to talk about a 401k plan as a supplement to this profit sharing plan. Michael also has a couple investments that make up that $329,000. He has an $328,000. He has an IRA account of $9,000, and then a brokerage account with $100,000 in margin, and a first growth mutual fund with $7,950. My first recommendation is really to take a step back and think about risk tolerance and your investment vehicles and your asset allocation. I think it's very important that you think about your time horizon, which is 17 years from now, and how your total portfolio is allocated. My recommendation after looking at your investments as well as considering your risk tolerance, which is moderate to aggressive, is that we purposely move your accounts to an 80-20 mix, 80% stocks, 20% bonds. Additionally, I also recommend an investment policy statement. And this investment policy statement will create a lot more structure around your investments holistically, even outside of retirement. It will set guidelines and monitoring guidelines so that we continue to have a holistic picture of your investment performance. We did do calculations to determine how much money you will need 17 years from now when you reach your retirement. And after looking at the capital needs analysis as well as the capital preservation analysis, considering whether you would like to leave assets to your heirs will be very important. With capital needs analysis, we're really considering using the holistic pool. And then with capital preservation, leaving some of that pool for your heirs. We also, when we did the calculation, we considered 80% of pre-retirement income as part of the calculation. The total need to support retirement will be $6,779,000, And this is assuming that you would both use the principal and the income and a lump sum distribution. If you desire only to use income, this really escalates your capital need by $2.1 million. So obviously with $328,000 saved, there is a gap, and there are ways to start working towards closing that gap. One of those ways is taking advantage of all the retirement vehicles available to you. And one of them is your retirement plan at ABC Company. And in that plan, there is a 401k. 401ks have lots of benefits. You can contribute in your plan up to 20% of your salary pre-tax, as well as there is a match to the plan, 50 cents for every dollar, up to 3%. By not contributing to that plan, you are leaving free money on the table that your company is willing to help support you in saving for your retirement. My recommendation is that you both enroll in that plan and you at least contribute up to the match. Additionally, since there are some pre-tax advantages, as well as you're trying to close this gap, you may want to contribute more than the match. In the case of Megan, since she just turned 50, she has the eligibility to actually do catch-up contributions. And that allows you to contribute even more to the plan on a pre-tax basis. So we should look into how the company would go about allowing Megan to make those contributions. Lastly, it will be important as you're deciding on that plan is picking the right investment vehicles to match your asset allocation. So I recommend that we're going to stick to this 80-20 mix, 80 stock, 20 bonds. And when you look at making those allocations, when you're thinking about the 80% in stock, consider 50% in the XYZ index fund, 10% in the XYZ growth fund, and then 10% into the small company growth fund. Lastly, you could make 10% into the foreign fund, and that would create a well-diversified portfolio of both domestic and international investments. Lastly, I recommend that you allocate 20% into the income fund, and that is a high-grade income-producing bond fund. I look forward to working through implementing these recommendations with you, and if you have any questions, please let me know.